Hey guys, welcome to our apartment in Brickell. I have my girlfriend right now filming the spot, so let's go. Okay, you can get off me, Mel. This is the beautiful kitchen that has been used maybe 3 times this entire 2 months. So, we eat things like Pura Vida over here and just healthy stuff. We didn't actually argue about rooms and who would get the better room because there's better things about both rooms. Like, she gets the better view. Okay. There's also construction going on. Can you see over here? So Tanya basically got this on Amazon because she needed a work desk and a monitor. And for 2 months, she was like, let me also get a desk. So how much was that, Tanya? Nothing came with this apartment, basically. Absolutely nothing. Hangers, we got everything we got. Flowers, dying. Yeah, just the beds, basically. No comforter. She's showing the flowers that are dying. This is us. This is us. So these flowers were actually in my room, but she needed some life in here, and I was like, take them, I don't care. The GBL made it in my room maybe once. Maybe once this whole trip. Anyways, you can see that the bathroom is pretty spacious. She just has a shower. I got the bath. Her wall is gray, and I got an uglier color, but I also got the bath. You know, a space where the dog pisses and shits, and we clean the mat once every 3 weeks. Right, Tanya? Let's go to my room where basically every friend who's came to visit has stayed because I've been staying not here at my boyfriend's. And you can see Tanya put more life into her room. I really just did not give a fuck. So the layout of the room is exactly the same, except I got the blue wall, which is fucking disgusting. This is the closet. It's a mess. I have shit everywhere. And also, this is the bathroom. So basically, same layout, but I got a bath for your bath queen. I got a bath and a shower. So it's a double master, and it's really hard when you're looking for a short-term, rental in Miami because none of the agents really want to help you because they're not making much commission on it. And if you are going to have a short term, normally they'll just Airbnb it, and most of the buildings don't even allow it. So I know I got a lot of comments asking, how do we rent short term? We went through a realtor, somebody we knew, so they kind of did us a favor, but to actually rent a spot, it's not the easiest here in Miami unless you're doing Airbnb. And we paid about like $5,000, and there was still things missing in here. So, 5,000 US is about 7,000. No, wait, 5,000 Canadian is about 7,000 US. So, yeah. So, yeah, this is the spot. And we're saying bye to it in a couple of days. So, I just want to give you a little tour. So, this is our balcony. It's pretty long, actually. I don't know if you want to show it. Can you see? So there's that side, and there's also, this side. What's annoying is like there's construction constantly. Mel, don't drop that camera. I'm dead. So yeah, thank you for watching, the tour, and now we can go back to the regular episode.
You're listening to the X Podcast. The X you keep coming back to.
What should we do with you? Tanya abandoned you. So I'm Canadian, and I've been in Miami for the last 2 months. Thank God I beat that storm back home because I heard it was insane. And Tanya and I decided to get a spot in Brickell for 2 months. This was prior to me meeting my boyfriend. We were just like, we want to escape the winter. Let's look and try and find a spot. And obviously, with the economy back home, the Canadian dollar compared to the US is, I would say, slightly different, to say the least. It's really hard when you're not looking for a long-term spot because obviously at this point, like, Tanya and I don't have our visas yet. So it's important that like we don't sign for a year. If we were able to be here for a year, we probably would have signed. So it was kind of tricky and very difficult to find a spot for the both of us that had a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom, and that had enough space. Like for long term, there's a lot more options and it would be less expensive, but because we're doing short term, it was kind of difficult to find something. Like this would not be my first choice of apartment. I'm currently filming in Tanya's room because it just looks prettier. I have a blue wall in the background for some reason, and she has gray, which gray is already better in terms of aesthetic. I wonder who walked in this room and was like, we should paint this room gray and the other one blue. Anyway, so when we had got here, we still didn't get accepted for a spot for 2 months, but we had to sign papers and we were still waiting to get approved. And in this time, I was kind of like, well, we're waiting to get approved. I'm going to wait a couple more days in Montreal until we get approved, and then I'm going to come down. And Tanya's like, well, I can only fly on Sunday because on Monday I got to be located and sitting on my desk for work, and I can't start flying on Monday. It's just like not going to work for me. And I was like, well, it works for me to leave another day, but okay. So we ended up coming here and, kind of being like, hi, like, what's the update? Are we getting approved on this spot? To get approved here, they kind of did the same process that it would take to get approved for a year. So it was a little bit annoying, and we found ourselves kind of like starting in a hotel, which I feel like every time I travel with Tanya, I spend unnecessary money. Like, problems find us, and I realize it's because we don't do things properly from the start. It's always like, we'll figure it out. And then it's like, we're in a hotel for 4 days and just spending money while we're waiting on our fucking condo. And I could have been spending those 4 days back at home when I was rushing to leave on the Sunday. Anyway, just a disaster. So we stayed in a hotel for 4 days. I'm like still on cyclosporin at the time. We're at the hotel and I'm petting her dog. And all of a sudden my eye blows up. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, should I rush to the emergency? Didn't take insurance this time. Idiot. Don't ask me why. I know you have it with your credit card, but it's because I didn't book a flight back. So when you don't book a flight back, you don't have insurance. Because the medication I'm on, it's like, why am I blowing up, right? And then I start having anxiety. I'm like, is it because of the dog? Is Benadryl going to work? Or is it because of something else? Like, I'm just like freaking out. Finally, we get approved. We move here on my birthday. And the contract was stating that we were going to start on the 18th, but we got here on the 21st at night. Whatever. No big deal. We get here and it's really like no one's been living here. Like there's a bed. Thank God. There was just a lot of things missing in terms of it feeling like we were able to just kind of move in right away. And so we started getting the mirrors and hangers and everything. We had no mirrors. We had no mirror to look at ourselves long. Maybe that's a luxury, but like we're both used to that. Hangers, everything to kind of make it feel like our home for the next 2 months. So we ended up going to like Target and buying a couple of things. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Just add on to the fact that this, by the way, spot was not cheap from the beginning. Anyway, we ended up getting a bunch of things at Target. And then the place started to feel a little bit more homey. I would say the first like 2 weeks, I was kind of just like more living here. And then after that, like I've just been spending so much time at my boyfriend's house. There's a part of me that's a little bit annoyed because I met my boyfriend obviously before the trip before, but I had already intentionally planned on living here for 2 months. And it just so happened that I met him for New Year's, went back and then came back. And then I was like starting this relationship with him. And it was nice to have my own spot, but like, you know how it is, guys, when you get in a relationship, you're like spending a lot of time with someone. And like, I didn't live the Miami life in a way where I was like, okay, well, I have my spot in Brickell. Like, I kind of like soon on. I mean, I guess that's how it is. Like when you're in a relationship, you kind of just like let go of the plans I guess the version of how I thought Miami would go when I got here and what actually ended up happening is different. And I'm very happy with the result. I'm very happy like to be in a relationship. But like it's crazy how you never get it all, and like I'm not going to complain that like I'm not single now and I'm not able to do Miami the way I thought I would, because I'm very happy with the way I'm doing it now. But it's just like funny how like, I guess this is a moment where I'm kind of trying to tell you, everyone who's listening to this, I guess this is a moment where I'm trying to tell everyone who's listening to this to really enjoy every moment in life, because you never know when you're going to be in a relationship. You never know how your life's going to unfold and what's going to happen next. And you could be single 1 minute and then in a relationship the next, and like you had a vision of how something might have was going to pan out for you, and it's completely different. And now I'm just like never at this apartment, and it kind of feels like a waste to even be here this month. Anyway, no, it's not a waste, but this week I had a girlfriend come down from Montreal. She's staying in my room, and I'm kind of just coming back and forth into days to like do things with her, and you know, still have like plans. I still like am going back and forth, but it's like I went from like living back at home to like, okay, I'm gonna have my own spot, and now I'm like living with someone again. Definitely being here this last month and a bit made me realize that I don't want to go home. Like I'm starting to see my life here. I don't know how it would have been if I didn't meet my boyfriend and I was doing this trip solo. And obviously, like, you know, with Tanya now, it's like I feel like every time like I'm doing something with my boyfriend, I'm like kind of ditching my friends. And like, yes, we've done things together, but it's like, okay, like I'm leaving my roommates, I'm going into my own thing, and it's normal. I guess Tanya and I thought it would be different, you know, and it just didn't work out that way. So the spot in Miami, I'm going to talk in US dollars because we're going to have a heart attack if we start speaking Canadian dollar, but I think we paid $4,700 for the spot for each month, split, so a little bit less. But like when I was converting and sending the money, like we're talking Canadian, like 6,000. I think it was like $6,700. And I was like, I'm not going to lie, that hurt. I was like putting $6,700 on this spot and like not even being here these last 2 months is nuts. But anyways, whatever. I got a boyfriend out of this, so we're good. And now he's going to be taking care of rent. So we're Gucci. I'm dead. I thought I would go over some questions that I've been getting from you guys, and I also put a question box on Instagram saying ask me anything. And so yeah, I think the first thing I wanted to just mention about last week's episode with my boyfriend on is that he didn't want to come on, and I didn't really have plans to have him on. I think I just kind of thought about it as, okay, I told you about me having a boyfriend, and now I kind of just wanted you guys to get the vibe of like just his energy, his vibe. I feel like going into this new relationship, I really want to keep it private until I have a ring on my finger, honestly. I mean, listen, I change my mind every day. Maybe next week I'll post him. That's kind of the thing when you're like in a happy relationship. You're like, wow, I like this guy. Like I want to post him. But you're also just a bit jaded where you're like, well, it's like for me to like him, and I don't need to like, I guess, put him out there and like prove to everyone. You know, I don't know. It's just like for me, and I just want to enjoy it just being for me. But at the same time, I feel like I told you guys I had a boyfriend, and I just thought it would be so good to do another episode where I'm kind of just like introducing him, and you can kind of like, you know, you guys could get to know him a little bit. So I'm sorry for anyone who was offended that I blurred him out. I know it was like annoying, and a lot of people were like, fuck, like I wish I could see him. Okay. Let's get into some questions I've been getting. What goes down on a yacht? I actually have a story for you guys. Here's the thing, okay? I have girlfriends here that are single, and the other day they were even like, we're going on a yacht with like these guys, like, do you want to come? And like, even though my boyfriend trusts me and he would never like be the one to tell me you can go, you can't go, there's a lot of things now that I'm going to be like sorry to my friends, like I'm not going to. And it's never going to be because like my boyfriend told me I can't go. He would say, go babe, if you want to go. But it's just kind of the idea of like having respect. And like, for example, I feel like a boat is one of those things where like, you know, there's not always service, and it's like, who are you going with? If you're in trouble or your boyfriend needs to like get a hold of you or anyone, like he doesn't really have the means to. So it's kind of like you're excluded on water. You never know when the boat's going to come back. And like, you know, it's just that idea where like, do I need to go? Like, do I need to be on this boat considering? Like, it's one thing if he's getting a boat with his friends and like I'm inviting my friends. Yes. But like to go on a boat, to be on a boat while like my partner's not there because my friends are inviting me to be with like guys I'm going to probably have to flirt with, or like, you know what I mean? They're going to be like, well, why is she on the boat if she has a boyfriend type shit, you know? So I think there's certain kind of things in life where you kind of just have to like my girlfriend was like, so we're going on a boat, do you want to come? I was like, oh no, like the boat I won't do. Like that's just like doesn't make sense. I'm not gonna go and be like, babe, does this make you mad if I go or not? It's like almost like common knowledge to like take it upon myself to be like, well, I'm just like not gonna go. If you're in a situation in life where you're not able to like, or like you want the best of every world, then I don't think you should be in a relationship. That's my honest take, because relationship is compromise, and like if you don't want to compromise any part of your life for your person, then I don't think that you should be in a relationship. I think like enjoy being single, you know? When someone's not controlling, you actually want to, you're not doing it because like you want to make them happy. I mean, it's just more like a respect thing. With that being said, what goes down on a yacht? I don't actually think much goes down on a yacht. And I don't know if this is just me being naive, but I've been on yachts with a bunch of girls. Okay, girls have like been, okay, girls twerk and stuff. But like, I feel like guys have this idea of girls going on a yacht and it being like, they're like fucking on a yacht and they're like doing a bunch of shit. But it's mostly like girls going to the top of the boat, taking pictures on Instagram and just drinking a little. Like, I don't know. Those are the yachts and boats I've been on in Miami. But like, I don't know. I feel like the guys definitely have this idea that like girls are going on boats and like, I don't know what they think we're doing, but we're just going on a boat, taking Instagram pictures and like just drinking and chilling with friends. We're not fucking, like, I don't know. I think it's more the idea of, like I said before, a guy just being like, he doesn't have control of where his girl is, and like, you know, there's no service on a boat. So yeah, nothing really goes down on boats that I've really seen. Although I did have sex with my boyfriend on a boat the other day. That was fun. What to do if your partner prioritizes school over your relationship? Look, I don't know how old he is, but I'm going to say one thing, okay? It's actually something my boyfriend wanted to say on the podcast and he was really mad he didn't. He said like he wasn't really ready to be in a relationship. Like he was like, he wasn't like trying to be in a relationship. He's like, I started this business. Like I'm just going to, you know, be single and work on my business. Like I'm not looking for someone. He's like, but then I met you and you were amazing and I wasn't going to lose out on losing you because it might have not been the exact time I wanted to get in a relationship. And I think that's so key to know that like sometimes we say like, and I think I've said that, it could be the right person in the wrong time. The thing though is that when someone really sees your value and wants to be with you, regardless if it really feels like the right time for them, if they're scared of losing you and they realize that you are a kind of asset to have with them and they love you, they're never going to be like, oh, this isn't the exact time I wanted to get in a relationship. I don't know. I'm saying that, but meanwhile, I'm thinking about it, and I know a lot of people who also will kind of be like, well, no, because I'm not at the right place in life. So they're kind of blocked off to it. But I guess like open men who are like willing to grow and kind of, you know, grow together, I guess are going to be more open to it. But I think a lot of time guys also use the excuse like, oh, I'm not ready to be in a relationship, but it's also because maybe they're just like not ready to be with you or they don't know what they want. And like, you should never take that personal. It's honestly, it's on them. It's not on you because they don't want to be with you. Like, you should just move on. You should like, I feel like a lot of times when like people break up with us or don't want to be with us or tell us they're not looking for anything serious, we kind of take it offensively when it's like, we really shouldn't. We really should not take it offensively. Because you want to be with someone who chooses you. Like, why should we have to fight for someone to be with us? And then we fight for them to be with us, and then they're with us for the wrong reasons. Instead of finding someone who like wants to be with you from the beginning, whether or not they were ready to be in a relationship, I think it's really hot when a guy's like, I wasn't looking for that, but like you came into my life and I'm not going to lose it. And I feel like a lot of times we put a lot of pressure on like, we got to make X amount of money by this year. And like, especially guys, they want to like make a certain amount before they open their heart to someone. And it's like, sometimes it's like the best guys are the ones who are able to like kind of be vulnerable and like open to the idea of having someone regardless of where they are. And I think you also find a true gem of a girl in that case, because you're building together, you're growing together, and you're not with someone for specific reasons other than the fact that you love them and you want to be with them. What to do if parents of your partner are controlling him? Ooh, I think a lot of times, parents don't mean bad by it, but they control because they think they know what's better for you. But you really learn the most when you're able to make your own decisions. So I don't really like the idea of that. Like if I'm my own person now, I think when you get to a certain age, it's kind of like, well, your parents shouldn't be controlling you. They could give you advice, but they should also be okay with like you making your own decisions. So I think it's probably hard to date somebody who takes a lot of, who's controlled by their parents. I think also a lot of factors come into it. Like, why are they so controlled by their parents? Are their parents paying their life? Like, there's a lot of things that go into that. So I don't know the scenario exactly, but yeah, I think that I can see how there can be some turbulence in the relationship if their parents are controlling them. What's your biggest learning in life so far and your biggest in a relationship? Wow. It comes when you least expect it, and I really believe that now. And my biggest learning in life so far is that you only have control on the things that are in your hands. Everything that is not in your control, you should not worry about. My man wanted to travel with his friends because we already traveled 2 times together. I mean, look, I don't know. It's weird. I feel like if now my boyfriend, I'm putting myself in my situation, my boyfriend was like, if it's not a work trip and he's like going on a vacation, like, I don't see why he wouldn't be like, baby, you're coming with me, I think, I don't know. I feel like that whole mentality of like needing to travel without your significant other, I get it if it's a bachelor party or you just want to get away, but like, I would assume if you're in love and you want to be with someone, you would want them there. And if they're not really inviting you and they're like counting down, oh, because you went on 2 trips together, like, I need a break from you. It's giving like he's a cheater. I don't know. I just feel like I'm trying to think of my boyfriend now, and if he was going on a trip, like obviously he'd want me there. Like, why wouldn't he? When someone's ready and they want a relationship and they want to be with someone, like, yeah, they want their women there. Look, is it gonna be like that 20 years down the line? I fucking hope. Are you still accepting pay pigs now that you have a boyfriend? I think this question's kind of funny. And I actually had this conversation with my boyfriend. I was like, look, there's pay pigs that DM me all the time wanting to send me money, or send me Amazon gift cards. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, obviously I never want to like disrespect you, but like, I think it's like jokes. And like, he's like, are you like sending them nudes? I'm like, no. He's like, okay, so like, why would I give a shit? Like, accept it if you want it. Like, yeah. I was kind of like, how am I going to bring this up to my boyfriend that like I have pay pigs that write to me and want to send me money? Like, is he going to get mad? Is he going to be like, no, don't accept? He's like, babe, it's money. If they want to send you money and be idiots with their money, like, take it, obviously. And I honestly thought that if I was going to get in a relationship and I would have to like not answer these pay pigs anymore. He's like, I don't care. Like, answer. If they want to send you gift cards, if they want to send you money, like, I mean, take it. Like, you're not sending them nudes. You're showing your feet or a sock pic. Like, yeah, sure, accept. Like, why not? Or you just have to degrade them. He's like, I don't give a fuck. He's like, get it, take it. Which I thought was funny because when we started our relationship, I was like not answering because I was like, well, this is like cheating. Like, I don't want to do anything that's like shady. And then when I had the conversation with him, he was like, yeah, I don't care. And I was like, wow, really? Somebody asked, how did you find your short-term lease in Miami? We went through a real estate agent that we had known somebody over here that hooked us up with him. Like, it wasn't easy, but DM me and I can help you out with that. What's your body count? You get no girls. Am I moving to the US now? That is the plan. My boyfriend and I don't want to do long distance. I don't want to do like having to come back, do like 6 months here, 6 months there, or like go back, come back. Like, the goal is to get my visa in the next month. Ooh, somebody asked a good question. What do you think about relationships plus social media, following, liking girls' photos, etc.? In the past, I have said I do not care if my man likes another girl's pic. Like, I don't care. Like, I'm out here, I'm posting bikini pics. I'm a podcaster. I don't care. Like, if I'm posting and other guys are liking mine, then I can't really have a say whether or not my partner is like liking other girls' pics. But without even telling my boyfriend, he's like, no, it's disrespectful. Like, I'm not going to like another girl's pic unless it's like one of your friends or like it's, somebody I've known from childhood. Like, I'm not going out of my way to like girls' pics. It's disrespectful. I think what gets a girl really mad about another guy liking another girl's pic when they're in a relationship is not the idea that you're giving, a girl a like and you're showing love. It's the idea that the girl who's receiving the like is thinking, they're in a relationship and he's liking my photo. It's kind of that idea that like you kind of feeling like, well, the girl might think now that like she has a chance with your man because he's showing love. Like it with your eyes. Heart it with your eyes. Don't heart it with your fingers. And that's it. Like, why do you need to show the love? Like, are you trying to send a sign? Like, are you trying to send like a little low-key signal that like you find them hot, you're down? Like, I think that's the thing for girls. It's like we never want to feel like an idiot and like being around other women and like other women kind of thinking like they can have your man because they're hearting the pic. I think that's where it really stems from. And it's like, it's an easy thing to just not heart it with your fingers and just heart it with your eyes. Easy fix. Okay? Like, why do you need to heart it? You need the girl to know that you find her hot? Like, I don't know. When you're like recently dating someone and you're getting along, you're in honeymoon stage, you're not fighting, and you really look at that person and you go, I don't see what we would ever fight about. Like, we wouldn't fight about anything. And then 3 months in, you guys start fighting about something and it's like, oh, yeah. Remember when we thought we would never fight about anything because we just agreed on so much? Even when you agree with so much of someone and you love each other, you're always going to have disagreements. And it's so normal and so healthy. You also learn someone's boundaries and, you learn to kind of compromise, which is all good things. Like, I think relationships do need arguments to figure out one another. But I think it's so funny at the beginning of a relationship when you're just kind of like, I don't see what we'd ever fight about. Like, it's 3 months, we're in honeymoon stage. And then bam, your first fight happens and you go, yeah. So we will be fighting. Okay, somebody said, loving this era for you. Would you say your perspective has changed on a guy 100% providing, etc.? Stemming from the convo you guys were having with unrealistic expectations. That is such a good question. I think that it's 100% normal and okay to want a guy to take 100% care of you. The one thing I will say is that if you're going for a younger guy who is still working on his career, his business, and he hasn't quite made it yet, you should also still take a chance sometimes on guys like that. Depending obviously on the routine and everything they kind of have lined up in their life for them. But I think that you have to also understand somebody's grind. And like, if you are dating a guy who's working on, opening up a business and working on, having a better life for the two of you, then you shouldn't be asking for things, materialistic things, and you should be more understanding of where someone is in their life. I just think to expect it right off the bat from the beginning is the more crazy thing, especially if you don't have kids, like, and you're expecting to be a housewife right away. Yes, that might happen. You might fall into a guy who's like, no problem, babe, but he's probably at a spot where he's financially capable of doing that. Or, you're playing the role of, taking care of kids and, kind of doing the other role. Yes, for me, do I want to be with someone who's 100% of a provider? Yes. Do I also want to make my own money? Yes. Do I want him to want my money? No. Do I want him to give me his credit card and my money's my money and his money is our money? Yes. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to sit around and do nothing while I could actually be doing something and I don't have kids. Like, I want to have those things also for myself. So, but in that case, I still do want my man to like have my back and 100% provide for me, but I want it on my terms. No, just kidding. But yeah, I think it's just the idea that like we think everything has to happen right away. I think most guys, if they could, would want to 100% provide. And sometimes it's not always the case right away. So you got to be patient. You got to take chances on your guys. I love you guys.